Good morning, Marvel Rival nerds. My name is Judgment Monk, and welcome to Marvel Rivals by the Numbers. Today we're going over the Season 3.5 High vs. Low ranked tier list. By using the Marvel Rivals Heroes Hot List pick rates and win rates, we'll be ranking each hero purely off the statistics. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more Rivals content, and provide any feedback that you think would be helpful moving forward. So at this point, if you've been following the series, you know that we'll be covering the low ranked tier list first. Starting with the S rank. Surprise, surprise, surprise. We have the exact same heroes in the exact same order as last season. The numbers show that Cloak is sub 50% win rate in every rank, but her pick rate peaks over 28%, which keeps her at the top of the list. Moving on to the A tier, we have Ultron, BP, Magic, Penny, Strange, Thor, Mantis, and Luna. Ultron just misses the cut from the S tier, while BP and Magic are the only DPS to make it off their insane win rate. Then we have our niche tank trio in the A tier. Apparently they aren't as niche as you'd think, at least at the lower ranks. Finally, Mantis takes a big jump to the A tier, and all this can be explained if you check out my Mantis healing adjustment video to see exactly how those changes affected the output and her playability. Moving on to the B tier, this is our most populated tier with 13 characters. In this tier, we see a ton of viable options, but I would like to highlight the Hulk, Cap, Psylocke, and Loki as the 4 high skill range heroes that have always landed in this tier. I think because it takes time and effort to get the most out of them, and their pick rates and win rates reflect just that. Onto the C tier, or should I say Duelist Hell, as we see Fantastic, Hela, Blade, Star-Lord, Phoenix, Moon Knight, Iron Fist, Jeff, Squirrel Girl, Venom, and Namor. As we know, it's hard to rank highly as a duelist on these lists, and all of these characters have middle of the pack pick rates and win rates. However, Star-Lord and Namor are continuing to see their rank climb, unlike the others. Onto the D tier, we have a very small group. We have 2 quote easy DPS and 2 quote hard DPS. Scarlet and Punisher are our easy DPS, but they hover around 47% win rate, while Wolf and Torch are considered harder DPS, so they hover around 2% pick rate. Neither is good enough to escape the D tier. And finally, we have the F tier. Yep, they're hard to play and even harder to win with. But I would like to say, Netties, please do not buff these characters. On to the high rank side, we also only have 3 characters in the S tier. We have Luna, Mag, and Rocket. As we can see, we've finally lost Emma and Loki from the S tier, as their nerfs have finally caught up to them. We also see the return of Rocket due to the drastic drop-off of Phoenix gameplay. Just as a reminder, even though Rocket's in the S tier, do not play him into Phoenix. Moving on to the A tier, we see a continued trend of Mantis' rise, and Strange quietly becoming one of the best tanks again. Also, remember those 4 B-ranked characters that I highlighted on the low-ranked side? We see them rise to the A tier, as the time and dedication finally pay off. Hulk, Cap, Psylocke, and Loki all make the jump to the A tier due to the higher skill of these players. Moving on to the B tier, we see Thor, Groot, BP, Namor, Spidey, Torch, Iron Fist, and Storm. All of the DPS in this rank are performing very well and should gain some more consideration from the community, except for maybe Spider-Man. Continuing on to the C tier, once again, this is Duelist Hell, but this time, I'd actually like to highlight Ultron and Atom, climbing up to this tier. This is the result of the triple support meta that's going on at the top. Ultron and Atom are adding sustain to their team comps, while also providing the damage the team needs. Onto the D tier, we have another small group of 4. From here on out, everyone is an underperformer, with Fantastic being the best at a 50% win rate, but an abysmal 2% pick rate. At least, out of these 4, Moon Knight and Scarlet Witch are getting buffs to help them out a little bit. And lastly, our final 5 in the F tier. According to the stats, these characters are laughably bad at the highest level of play. Worst of all is Squirrel Girl is actually getting a nerf while performing this poorly. My only question is, can somebody explain how Punisher is this slow, but is a monster in pro play? I'll let you think about that as we move on to the biggest winners and losers. On the low rank side, we see a direct correlation between the Season 3.5 buffs and the pick rates / win rates of these characters. Star-Lord now gains shields on his flip ability, along with his invincibility frames. Honestly, this is kinda broken. Adam's added bonus health to his res allies is a huge improvement, and the cooldown reduction on his cluster makes him a much more consistent healer. And of course, we have the Groot and Mantis team up. Along with Groot's buffs, this team up is working wonders for both of them. All of the losers aren't doing that bad, they're mostly seeing drops in pick rates. The exception to that rule, however, is Wolverine. With the devs still trying to rein him in with all of these nerfs, his numbers are falling in both low and high ranked. Not to mention, there's much less Phoenix gameplay across the board. The Thing is seeing much less play as his Battle Blitz ability is becoming a little bit more normalized within the community. And thus, we're also seeing less Invis play, but with buffs coming to her ultimate, I can see her climbing back up next season. Moving on to the biggest winners and losers of the high ranked side. This list of winners and losers is much less useful as it's polluted by the rank reset. With a larger portion of the player base entering the higher ranks, the worst of the worst characters saw increases from non-existent numbers, and thus we see a large score increase for each one of them. The only exception to that rule is Star-Lord and Mantis, seeing similar success to the low ranked side. Hopefully the introduction of placement matches will resolve this issue in the future. Similarly on the loser side, we see the meta characters see much less play as less optimal strategies start appearing in the higher ranked games due to rank inflation over time. So for Season 3.5, the stats say that the biggest losers are Phoenix, Mag, Luna, Wolverine, and Emma. The final section of this video is going to include the Season 3 MRC tournament. With over 50 hours of MRC videos to watch, I was able to compile data on the pick rates and ban rates of EMEA and American matches and add them to my high-ranked statistical tier list for Season 3.5. Without further ado, we're starting with the S tier. If you watched the MRC at all, the S tier shouldn't be a surprise. Some of these numbers were actually ridiculous, as Torch saw an over 70% ban rate, with Psylocke, Loki, Emma, and Mantis not too far behind. And of course, if they weren't being banned, they were being played. With all of those S tier characters being so often banned, we were able to see all of these A tier characters become much more viable. Namely, Hulk and Venom saw a ton of compositions revolving all around them. And with Hulk seeing so much more play, Namor also saw an increase in his play rate. And once again, Adam sees a huge boost in pro play, as he was chosen in place of Ultron in a lot of the triple strategist compositions. The rest of the characters didn't see much play in the MRC, or were so low. Without the MRC consideration, this is as high as they went. As we move down to the D tier, pro play becomes less and less of a consideration. And finally, only one character in the F tier, and that was Black Widow. This really isn't intentional, it's just the numbers really don't like her. With that, thank you so much for watching. This has been Judgment Monk with Marvel Rivals by the Numbers. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, as more Rivals content is sure to come.